Have you ever had a colleague who wasn't, the loudest or even the friendliest, but
Yeah.
somehow they always got what they wanted? Like they'd make one quiet suggestion in a meeting,
Mm,
and suddenly that was the new direction for the entire project.
all the time. And you're left wondering how did they do that? They don't play by the same rule book everyone else seems to be using.
Right.
It's like they have a different operating system.
That is the perfect way to describe it. So today we're talking about a philosophy that tries to define that operating system.
Okay.
I came across a website called Haloless.io, and the name alone tells you a lot.
Haloless. It's intentionally provocative.
Yeah.
It suggests taking off the halo, dropping the pretense of being purely good. So, what's the core idea?
Well, their tagline is strategic wisdom without virtue.
Ooh,
It's a raw look at the mechanics of power and strategy,
okay.
detached from the usual moral hand-wringing. It's not about being evil,
Hmm.
it's about being effective,
I'm both intrigued and a little wary.
right?
That phrase "without virtue" is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. So, where does this wisdom come from?
It's such a fascinating mix. So, one of its power moves is a quote from Frank Underwood in House of Cards. The key to being a successful leader is to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you are.
Okay, sure.
Pure pragmatism.
Mm-hmm.
But then it immediately follows with a stoic truth from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength.
So that's a fascinating combination. On one hand, the archetype of modern cynical power,
Totally.
and on the other, the ancient bedrock of inner resilience. So the idea isn't just to be a shark,
Right.
but to be a shark with a very calm, controlled mind.
Exactly. The stoicism is the foundation. It suggests that before you can play any game externally,
Mm,
you have to master your internal world. You can't be strategic if you're constantly reacting emotionally to outside events.
right.
You have to build that inner fortress first.
That reframes it for me. It's less about manipulation for its own sake
Yeah.
and more about achieving your goals from a position of mental strength. So let's make this practical. What's a strategy that a haloless thinker might use?
Okay, so they feature a daily rule, and one I saw was called calibrated unpredictability.
Ooh.
The principle is simple. Be unpredictable in your timing, but predictable in your quality.
Let's break that down. So instead of being the person who reliably sends a report at 5 p.m. every Friday,
You become the person who, at seemingly random times, delivers these game-changing insights.
wow.
People learn that your contributions are always excellent.
Mm.
So they wait for them, they anticipate them. It turns your work from a commodity into an event.
It's like the difference between a TV show that airs every week, which
Yeah,
you might watch passively,
right.
and a surprise album drop from an artist like Beyoncé or Taylor Swift. You know the quality will be there.
Exactly.
And the unexpected timing creates this massive wave of excitement and perceived value.
That's the perfect analogy. You stop being a predictable cog in the machine
Yeah.
and become a strategic player whose moves have an impact. But what's equally important is the defensive side of this. Once you understand this concept, you start to see it everywhere.
So you recognize when a boss is using it to manage their
Oh,
team,
yeah.
or when a public figure is using it to control a narrative. It's like learning to see the matrix.
Yes.
You're no longer just a victim of these strategies. You're aware of the code.
And that awareness is power in itself. The haloless philosophy seems to argue that in a world where so many people are already playing this game,
Mm.
choosing not to understand the rules isn't a moral high ground, it's a strategic disadvantage.
It forces you to confront a really uncomfortable question. Is it better to be good and lose,
Right.
or to be morally ambiguous and win? This philosophy seems to say that's the wrong question.
Okay.
It asks, how can you be effective, period? And what you do with that effectiveness, that's up to you.
It's a toolkit. You can use a hammer to build a house or to break a window.
Right.
This is just about understanding the hammer.
Which leaves us and you with something to think about. So here's a question we'd like you to think about. Look at your own life. in your work or social circles, are you playing the game
Mm.
or is the game being played on you? And is there a way to be strategic without losing yourself in the process?